Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Rank where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder. If you did not check out yesterday's episode, definitely give it a go because Mega Lopunny has its best game yet in the first game of yesterday's episode. Yesterday was also the debut of yet another new series on this channel called Team Review Thursday, where I look over one of your teams, which you sent to me by email, and I edit it and make some comments on it. So I think both are pretty cool videos, so if you did not watch those, definitely go check on it, as we're just going to jump back onto a ladder. As always, if you enjoyed the series, please show your support by leaving a like on this video. It really means a lot to me, and I'd appreciate it. So far, we're sitting at a rating of 1806. I don't think this team is best fit for Mega Lopunny. I mean, it's been doing pretty well here, you know, but we've been splitting wins and losses still, so it'd be cool to pick up 2 wins in one of the episodes here. I do think, like, my set is a bit inferior. I actually got rid of Ice Punch for Protect on this Lopunny just to try it out, though I think Encore might actually be the best option, so I'm thinking for the last 2 days of Road to Rank with this team, since, you know, I won't be changing teams next week. I might actually try out Encore since I think it'd be pretty interesting, but we'll see how it goes. But the rest of the team is really fun. Aegislash has actually become one of my favorite Pokemon this year, just by using it in Road to Rank the last couple of days. As Star from Japan with the rating of 1734 is going to be our first opponent of the day with a very cool team. Bishop, Rotomwash, Heatran, Altaria, Hitmontop, and Crobat. So, like, the Altaria, Crobat, Hitmontop are all very, very unique to me here. Hitmontop, of course, dominated VGC 2012 and 2013 with the Fighting Gem Fake Out Close Combat set, but now, you know, it's not nearly as good. Crobat, not seen very often, but it definitely has worked in VGC in the past on certain teams. You know, ability to Tailwind, Super Fang, even Brave Bird, and I think Flying types are kind of underrated because Talonflame is the most common one, but Flying types, you know, a great way to counter the ever-present Pokemon like Mega Venusaur, you know, which is very near and dear to my heart. But, let's see here. So, Lopunny actually matches up pretty well because I can just fake out this first turn. The lead matchup is kind of difficult here, though. I definitely want this Aegislash to beat the, you know, the Hitmontop, the Altaria, the Crobat. Okay, let's see. I like leading with Lopunny here. I think it just puts on a lot of pressure immediately, and I actually kind of want to go with Suicune just because the only thing that really beats it is the Rotomwash. Whereas I can just scald everything else, which is pretty nice, you know? I'm alright with that. I think I want Aegislash in the back. For the last one, Hydreigon makes a bit of sense here just because Earth Power can knock out the Heatran and the Bisharp. I can Draco everything else, bar the Altaria. Oh, and I could also Wide Guard here, which I think is pretty helpful. I don't know, I don't really want to bring Sylveon because my opponent has a Heatran and a Bisharp. I don't want to bring Landers because he's got that Bisharp and Rotom-Wash. So I'm going to go with Hydreigon, we'll see how this plays out. But Star's got a really cool team here, and I'm curious to see what she offers. Just because I actually lost to Mega Altaria when I was streaming twice, but that was during the International Challenge when I was using a very silly Mega Slowbro team. But the lesson I learned there is, first of all, Mega Altaria is like bulkier than you think it is, and second of all, don't let it spam Hyper Voice, because then it can just go through your entire team. But I'm going to lead with Mega Lopunny and Suicune as my opponent goes with the Hitmontop and the Bisharp. Okay. So this isn't terrible, but it's also a bit interesting here, because my opponent, basically, the way I see it, has 2 potential plays. You fake out the Suicune expecting to fake out onto Bisharp and trade fake outs, which actually is not a good play, or a bunch of plays, actually. So protecting Bisharp here and going for the close combat onto Lopunny makes the most sense to me. So I actually want to do is, what I want to do is, I'm going to Mega Evolve, go for the fake out onto Hitmontop, and I think I might just Scald it. This is what I'm going to go for. Reason being, like, Mega Lopunny here, the obvious place to just fake out or low kick Bisharp, so, I mean, it would make sense for Bisharp to attack here if it had Focus Sash, so I'm also figuring out what item it has here. But I'm going to go for the double onto top. He is not going to protect, though, with the Bisharp, so I guess maybe it does have the, oh wow, Eject Button on Hitmontop as well. Bunch of tricks right away. I assume maybe Altaria is going to come in here. And I'm guessing Bisharp went for the knockoff onto Suicune, though maybe the Iron Head. But a good read by my opponent there to not protect with Bisharp, though. I'm guessing he went for the fake out onto Lopunny. I don't know, I thought I would have personally protected with Bisharp there, but I guess my opponent predicted me, as Altaria does come in. Cloud9 not going to do anything here. He does go for the knockoff onto the Suicune. Let's see, is that Life Orb? It is Life Orb, wow, so just a huge, huge read on my opponent's end this first turn. I get the Scald off, but obviously that's not going to be doing too much to an Altaria. Nice read there. Maybe he went for like the knockoff onto Suicune and the close combat onto Lopunny, knowing he'd get a knockout that turn. I mean, that would make the most sense to me, but very, very nicely done on my opponent's end there. Which also puts me in a slight predicament here. Because I think the play from my opponent here is to protect Bishop to avoid the low kick and just Hyper Voice with Lopunny. I don't really have many options right now, actually. I should have went for the KO onto Bishop. Because I can just return an Ice Beam here. But then I lose my Lopunny, which is my main way of KOing Bishop. Though Earth Power KOs anyway at this point, I guess. I could actually, no, protect with Lopunny too. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Wait, this is so much better. I don't know why I didn't think this through. So I'm gonna protect the switch in Aegis Slash to block the wide guards, as he's going to switch, and I think that's Hitmontop coming back in. Good switch out there. As Aegis Slash is a pretty darn good Pokemon to have against Hitmontop and an Altaria. Though Altaria does carry fire type attack, so my opponent might go for one of those, but really good first turn play by my opponent there. One that I'm kind of frustrated about because I could have just went for the knockout, but it is good to know my opponent's Bishop has this Life Orb and not the Sash. Mega Altaria, however, here does Mega Evolve. Let's see what it goes for. Lopunny going for that Protect, so pretty helpful that I had Protect this time around. Oh, it goes for the Tailwind though. Nicely done. Not much Lopunny could have done there in the first place, but a really good play there. So I'm actually going to just switch out into Suicune and go for the Flash Cannon onto this Altaria. Suicune isn't very helpful at this point already, honestly, because I lost the Citrus Berry. He actually withdraws the Altaria, not the play I was expecting. I guess, oh, Rotom's going to come in here. That makes sense to me. Good switch out. Good switch out. My opponent's definitely been playing one step ahead of me this entire game. So Suicune's probably going to take a close combat here, which obviously is not good. But then I can just stall out another turn of Tailwind. Yep, he does go for the CC onto my Suicune, which takes that with 43 HP left. And this Flash Cannon is not going to do anything to a Rotom Wash, which 4 times resists it. Props to my opponent so far. He's been playing very well. Yeah, that does nothing. So the obvious play here is to just King Shield Protect. But my opponent might get fancy and like Will-O-Wisp the Aegis Slash. I think I should still play it safe here though. I don't know, I really want to attack with Aegis Slash here. See, playing with Aegis Slash is a bit tricky because like you don't know whether your opponent's going to predict you or not. I really want to go for the Flash Cannon onto the Hitmontop. I'm gonna go for it. He actually withdraws, so I'm guessing Bishop's coming back in here. Yep. Let's see what Rotom Wash goes for. Okay, cool. So I do get the trade-off this turn, but Bishop gets a free switch in, which is obviously not great. And the extra damage onto Rotom would have been a bit better here. I actually give it a Defiant Boost. Oh, Flash Cannon, why? That's a... You don't see that happen every day, that's for sure. Alright, I think Suicune's done his job here, so I'm just gonna sack it and King Shield here with Aegis Slash. I'm not sure if that Defiant Boost will matter, but it does mean like my opponent can Sucker Punch me for actual neutral damage against the Lopunny and the Hydreigon. So I'm gonna King Shield. He goes for the knockoff onto Suicune. Good play. If my opponent's smart enough, he'll Will-O-Wisp into the Aegis Slash, which I think honestly my opponent went for, but I couldn't risk losing Bishop here. Oh, but he just T-bolts. Okay, cool. Tailwind does expire, which is important because I get a free switch in to... I'm going to bring in Hydreigon here. Rotom Wash can't really touch Hydreigon right now. Oh, this is very intense. This is very, very intense. Now this is also tricky because, you know, you want to predict the, I think Bishop's going to go for a Sucker Punch onto Aegis Slash. So I'm going to, let's see. I think I'm going to Dark Pulse it here so I can Dark Pulse Rotom the next turn. Let's see, what do I have in the back? Yeah, it's Lopunny. Dark Pulse should KO, so I'm going to Dark Pulse. And I'm going to King Shield again. Like, I don't need it, but I'm just gonna try to avoid the Sucker Punch here. He withdraws Rotom, which is good. I'm guessing Altaria's coming in here. Yeah. I do get another King Shield off, which is great. I mean, I didn't need that because Bisharp here probably went for the Sucker Punch. Yep, perfect. So I do make that read there, which is great. And Dark Pulse here knocks out the Bisharp. It actually would have been better if I didn't get... I should have went for Wide Guard there, I guess, because it would have ensured I could have King Shielded again, but that's fine. 3-3 now, but he's going to probably bring in the Rotom Wash back in here. Yeah, as he is. Though, now I can just Dark Pulse to Wash and go for the safe Flash Cannon onto Altaria. Let's think this through. Okay, my opponent's last one is Hitmontop. I mean, I didn't want to just like Wide Guard Dark Pulse there. Like, I need to put on more offensive pressure against this Altaria, and he is going to protect with Wash, which is good because it means he's probably not going to. Okay. Oh wow, he double protects actually. Very clever play because it baits me into the Blade form actually. So nicely done there. Good play, good play, good play. Now this gets interesting, because, you know, I don't think I can afford to switch out, so I'm going to Dark Pulse Rotom Wash again. The question is, do I King Shield here? I think I have to. Let's think this through. I'm gonna King Shield. I just can't afford to lose Aegislash right now. I don't know, but I think this King Shield is so obvious that my opponent's gonna predict it, but that's why playing with the Aegislash is so tricky all the time. Though it's not like there's much he can do anyway. I mean, the most is he can Will-O-Wisp that slot, but I'm gonna get the Dark Pulse off against Rotom. Oh, does so much damage. Unfortunately, just misses out on the knockout there, though it might actually be in Fake Out KO range. I'm not sure. Oh, it actually gets the flinch as well. He does go for the Hyper Voice, not affecting it, Aegislash, but he's going to knock out the Hydreigon here. I mean, the worst comes to worst, he could have gone a Will-O-Wisp off against the Aegislash, which was probably what he was going for. But this is actually pretty good now, so I get to bring in Lopunny here. What I'm going to do is return the Rotom Wash and... Okay, let's think this through now. See how he double protected last time? He might want to double protect once again here to Blade, or bait me into Blade form. Or he could just go for a Hyper Voice. Hyper Voice would KO Lopunny. So, I mean, I could double into the Altaria here with a Fake Out and a Flash Cannon. But then he could burn me. Oh, this is quite the difficult position to be in. Alright, I'm going to return Wash and just Flash Cat in the Altaria here. Let's see if he goes for the Protect plays. Wow, he actually withdraws out into the Hitmontop, which is good news for me because that's free damage I just get. Like, a lot of free damage. And I think Return should still be able to knock out Rotom Wash. I sure hope so. Okay, so I get the Return off. How much does it do? Okay, good. If that didn't KO, I would have been very concerned. So that's like actually the ideal turn, and I'm very glad I didn't go for any like absurd predictions there, as I'm going to be able to... Let's see how much it does to him on top. I don't think it'll KO, but maybe he's not very invested. Yeah, has a sliver of HP left there. Okay. Okay. So Altaria's going to come back in here. Now we have a 2-2 situation, and Hitmontop does have a turn of Fake Out. Or we could Sucker Punch. I mean, I think the play here is to Fake Out Lopunny and actually Tailwind. Because the King Shield with Aegislash here is so obvious. Though if he like Sucker Punches Aegislash and Flash Cannon, I mean, and Hyper Voices, I just lose. So I don't know. I mean, this is a really tricky turn because one of us could outright win if we make the more aggressive play. I don't know. I really want to make the more aggressive play. I don't want to double protect. Return and... yeah, I'm just gonna double up into this Hitmontop. I may regret this a large amount. Okay, he goes for the fake. Let's see what the Altaria goes for here. Oh, the reads! The reads! He went for the Fire Blast. Yeah, that was such a 50-50 call. Like, so if I King Shielded there, then I outright win because I just return and Flash Cannon the next turn. So I was predicting the Tailwind play there, but my opponent was expecting me to predict that and made a fantastic play. So he's gonna end up winning that one. Like, if he went for the Tailwind, I think I would have lost. No, I should have went. I guess I should have King Shielded there. Because even if he went for the Tailwind, then we'd close combat and Fire Blast. I mean, it depends if he had Sucker Punch on Hitmontop. I'm assuming he did, but I shouldn't have assumed that. Like, I mean, I guess I could have played it safer. I just really thought the Tailwind play was coming out there, but my opponent made a really good read on that last turn. So, that's one thing I've realized this team has had difficulty with, is like those 50-50 plays, because if you make the wrong call, you just outright lose. And it's had more, like, the thing is, when you play with a more offensive team like this, especially with Aegislash, you get roped into those 50-50s way more than, say, when I was using the Mega Venusaur team, where, because it's so bulky, you don't deal with those situations nearly as much. So in retrospect, I guess I could have King Shielded and just, protected with Lopunny. And if he Tailwinded... yeah, I mean, it would have come down to, one, how much a Fire Blast would have done to Aegislash in shield form, two, whether I could have taken Life Orb recoil enough, which I honestly don't think I could have, and three, whether the Hitmontop had Sucker Punch there or not. But really good read by my opponent that last turn. Those games always haunt you a bit because, like, all I had to do there, seeing the play he made, was protect and or King Shield and return or double protect there. But I really thought Tailwind was coming up. But you know, that's the marks of a good player, when you reveal a move and then use it to your advantage later on. But we're gonna find an 1850 plus player here for our second game of the day, with the team of Salamence, Charizard, Tyranitar, Excadrill, Bisharp, and Sylveon. I do have to apologize to you guys, because, like, this team is really fun to use, but it hasn't picked up, like, 2 wins in a row yet. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm just not as good when I play on screen, because when I played off screen, I managed to get, like, a 4 or 5 game win streak yesterday, but it's been frustrating for sure. But I really like it for sure as well. But my opponent has a team of Salamence, Charizard, Tyranitar, Excadrill, Bisharp, and Sylveon here, so a pretty interesting team. Immediately I can see that Landorus is really good, as is Suicune. 3 potential Megas for my opponent, though I would assume Charizard definitely is, and Salamence probably is as well. As always, you know, what do I want to lead with? I actually really like Lopunny and Suicune here. Though, I don't know, like, my opponent heavily relies on spread damage as well, given that he's got Rock Slide from Tyranitar, Earthquake Rock Slide from Excadrill, Hyper Voice from Sylveon, Heat Wave from Charizard. So, let's see. I don't want to lead Landorus here just because my opponent has a Bisharp, and obviously you never want to lead Landorus into Bisharp. Though theoretically I could lead with, like, Landorus Lopunny, because Lopunny beats the Bisharp. I actually think I'm going to go for this, yeah. With Suicune in the back. For the last one... I feel like Aegislash for Wide Guard here is good, but then Hydreigon can just knock out the Charizard and the Bisharp and the Excadrill. You know, I'm gonna go with Aegislash though, because otherwise Hyper Voice can just blow through my team. So let's see how this goes. Those 50-50 calls always haunt me so much. I hate it when you're on the wrong end of it. I honestly don't know how much a Mega Altaria Fire Blast does to an Aegislash in shield form, but I mean, I was at like 115 HP at that point. So if he had Sucker Punch, he definitely would have won. Though I guess theoretically I could have stalled out the Sucker Punch play, so... I guess I should have played it safer there. Sometimes I'm just overly aggressive. Perfect here, because my opponent goes for Tyranitar Excadrill, meaning Landorus gets that Intimidate off, which is super, super helpful. So, you know, I was banking off my opponent not going with Bisharp there. I don't know, I really didn't think he'd lead with Bisharp, but this ends up being a very good lead matchup. Though it's not like I can just Earthquake right away. I mean, theoretically I could Earthquake. Let's see. So based off team preview, you know, I would expect Salamence to be in the back. Or actually, no, I guess Charizard would make sense against my team here. I mean, I could just protect EQ this first turn. But I think we're gonna see a switch in here to like the Salamence. Or I could U-turn this Tyranitar, Mega Evolve, and fake out the Excadrill to get into my Suicune and then set up a Tailwind, because Suicune does pretty well right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go for this play. He's actually gonna withdraw the Excadrill, which is fine by me. Let's see if the Salamence, which I'm expecting, comes in here. It's actually gonna be Sylveon, which I'm fine with. Because I get a free fake out onto it, and like, Mega Lopunny's fake out actually does a good amount of damage. Like, it might actually put it in return KO range. So that's alright. He does go for the Protect here with the Tyranitar though, so not going to be able to pick up a knockout here. But I mean, I get the fake out onto the Sylveon. Bit bulkier than expected. Take a turn of Sandstorm with both here. Okay, now what I'm expecting is Tyranitar is going to switch out into the Salamence, which I'm predicting my opponent has as this last one. So, because otherwise I could just return and U-turn the Sylveon, but I don't know. I really think Salamence is my opponent's last Pokemon. So in anticipation, I'm going to U-turn the Tyranitar and switch out into Aegislash, which can take a Hyper Voice, and then I get to switch it into Suicune as well. If my opponent doesn't have Salamence as the last one, then I'm perfectly fine, because right now Landorus can just come back in and Earthquake everything. Wow, that's Charizard though. Interesting. So right now Landorus is looking real good for this matchup. U-turn obviously does nothing here, but it's actually pretty solid because what I can do is Wide Guard with this Aegislash in the future to prevent Heat Waves and Hyper Voices. The Wide Guard is kind of obvious. I have to switch into Suicune here though because Hyper Voice is coming out. So basically I want to conserve this Lando obviously because it outright beats my opponent's entire team. He does go for the Hyper Voice here. Okay. Crits Aegislash. Kind of unfortunate there. Yeah, so what I could have done was I could have just returned U-turn there to knock out Sylveon, but I really didn't want to risk my opponent switching into Salamence, getting Intimidated off, and then knocking out and doing a lot of damage to the Lando. But now that it's confirmed, you know, I can safely attack with my physical type attackers because he's got no Intimidate on his end. So I want a Wide Guard Tailwind here, which is actually what I'm going to go for. Charizard might get fancy, go for the Solar Beam onto Suicune or the Overheat onto Aegislash. If that is the case, that's fine, because first of all, Charizard Mega Evolving here is going to get rid of the Sun. Second of all, it's going to ensure that I get a Tailwind up, and so I get a free switch in back into Orlando T. So just making the safer plays right now. But let's see. Drop comes out. Wide Guard. Like, you'd have to assume the Aegislash has Wide Guard here. He goes for the Flamethrower, which was like the last move I really would have expected. It's gonna knock out Aegislash. Well, that's fine. As Suicune gets the Tailwind up, which is pretty nice. The Hyper Voice here, going to protect. Suicune's gonna get protected by that, so... I think I kind of had to bring in Landers here just to put on some pressure. It actually kind of sucks right now because Charizard's definitely going to protect. Or I guess you could switch out into like Excadrill. And Scald plus Rock Slide will knock out Sylveon, so it's going to get another Hyper Voice off. There's not much I can do here though. Like, I just couldn't switch out into my my Lopunny just because that Charizard, by not going for the Overheat, still has normal special attack. So that's Flamethrower. He does protect with the Charizard there, which is fine because this next turn, like, Sylveon's not going to knock out either of my Pokemon with Hyper Voice, so I do put on some more offensive pressure. Rock Slide fortunately does connect here. So, like, a flinch would be clutch, but I'm not banking off it. But the RNG is definitely in my favor here because I can flinch or burn it. Not going to be the case that I don't get any of the additional rolls as he gets a Hyper Voice off. Doing a ton of damage to both of those Pokemon. I don't think the Sylveon's even in a KO for another Rock Slide plus Scald. I'm just gonna Scald Sylveon and Rock Slide here though. I don't know, having no answer to this Wide Guard is really problematic. So he's gonna make that obvious switch out from Charizard into the, I think it's Excadrill coming out here? Yeah. You know, it makes sense, you don't want to get rid of the Sun right now because Scald's damage is reduced. Okay, that's oh, I should be Ice Beaming, I think. Ice Beam should be doing more damage. I got a crit there, though. Does Scald knock it out? Wow, it does. So that was a pretty fortunate crit as I knock out Sylveon. Yeah, I should have Ice Beamed instead of Scalded, just because my power is currently reduced by the sun. I'd assume Tyranitar is going to come back in here, but by not taking out Hyper Voice there, I was pretty fortunate. The Tyranitar does come back in. So this game is very interesting to me right now, as the Sandstorm does kick back up. The switch out is so obvious. I think I'm just going to Scald Excadrill and switch out into Lopunny, though. It's a very tight game right now. But I want to conserve that Intimidate, which is the main thing. Ooh, good Protect there with the Excadrill. What does T-Tar go for? Okay, a double Protect. So that actually works out in my favor, because I get a free switch in, which I'm fine with. So obviously not going to be doing too much, no damage here, but hey, I can't complain. The Tailwind does expire here. Now it's a bit interesting. I think what I'm going to do is switch out into Landorus. I don't know, I feel like for my opponent, the best play is to switch out Tyranitar into Charizard. And okay, I'm gonna switch out and go for. I really want to low kick, but I think fake out onto Excadrill's a better play here. I'm gonna go for the fake out. We'll see if he switches out into Charizard. Okay, Suicune switches first. I'm not sure whether my Suicune is faster than Tyranitar. So I get the free Intimidate off against both these physical type attackers. Oh, he doesn't switch out or protect with both. Wow. Okay, so Flinch is there. He goes for a Rock Slide, which obviously isn't going to do too much, but okay. Yeah, so I guess my opponent, like, if I made that right call there, I would have outright won, but obviously it's a pretty tough call to make. Oh man, predicament here. Once again, having superpower would be really, really clutch, but I don't have it. I don't know. I mean, I think Tyranitar's not doing really anything right now. So I think I'm just going to actually Rock Slide and Low Kick, yeah. Because Excadrill shouldn't be able to knock out either of my Pokemon here either. So the main thing is, like, at this rate, oh, he protected with Excadrill, though. Oh, double protect, okay. That's fine. I mean, it makes sense to blow out the fake out here, I guess. But I did lock myself into Rock Slide, which obviously isn't great. So the main thing is, I mean, here I guess Excadrill could double Rock Slide. I mean, he could go for the double Rock Slide here. What I could do is Low Kick into the Charizard, the Tyranitar slot, since it's not Scarfed. Yeah, I'm gonna double up into Tyranitar here. Oh, he goes for the Iron Head onto Lopunny. I don't think they'll knock me out. Yeah, it doesn't. It's Life Orbed. Oh, this is gonna be close. Because Low Kick should knock out the Tyranitar here, as it does. And I get the Rock Slide off. Excadrill avoids it. Okay, but this is fine. Okay, because, yeah, he's forced to get rid of his own son here, so that's actually perfect for me. As Charizard's going to come back in. Oh my gosh, this is really close. The main thing is I don't think Lando can KO it with the Rock Slide. So I'm going to go for the Rock Slide. I think I should return the Charizard here, though. I don't know, though. Do I Low Kick? Because Rock Slide Low Kick's the obvious play. But he's got to protect with one of his Pokemon right now, I think. So the question is, who do you protect with? I guess I could actually Rock Slide protect here. I don't know. I should go for the offense here. Once again, another really 50-50 call. I mean, I have to Rock Slide here. Just who do I target with this Lopunny? It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna KO Charizard. Oh, I nearly went for the fake out there. I'm gonna go for the. I don't know if he doesn't know KO though. Okay, I'm targeting Charizard. I guess he assumed it would KO. Alright, so I need a flinch here. Iron Head onto... Oh, Landorus. Oh, really? Like, I wouldn't have KO'd there, so if he... I guess he's not very bulky then. Oh my god. This episode was very frustrating for me. Both games, I made the wrong 50-50 call. What do I even do here? I mean, I guess I can hope I crit the return. I just... Okay, he protects with Excadrill, so if I somehow KO here with return, if I crit, I still win. I'm not counting on it, but... Yeah, nah. Oh, I avoided, but that wasn't the... Yeah, I needed, like, Suicune to survive there as well. Should have protected there with Suicune, I guess. I don't know why he protected with Excadrill. That was just, like, useless. I mean, now he just has to, like, Iron Head and Flamethrower, but... I can't believe he protected with that Charizard. I mean, yeah... I should, like, stop playing. I get into my own mind way too much sometimes, like, because I like, figure out the play that my opponent needs to make to beat me. Like, if he had full knowledge of my team, but I guess, like, he thought that Roxas would KO at that point anyway. Or maybe he just outread me. Either way, I'm gonna lose both games today, but, I mean, it was a really intense episode. Just a frustrating one at that. I mean, once again, that's a testament to the team, and I guess I made the more aggressive / risky play both times. So I'm sure some of you guys are like screaming at the screen right now because it's like, wow, you really should have won those games. But, you know, it is those calls you have to make sometimes, and it just wasn't on my side today. But good lessons to take away, and we'll see if we can recuperate in the upcoming episodes. But a pretty long one for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave a like if you did, and I shall see you tomorrow. Alright, peace.